last time a 2D Mario adventure truly impressed me was, honestly, decades ago. For the most part, and for the better part of 15 years, Nintendo's Mushroom Kingdom has only been truly impressive when it's been in 3D. Despite attempting an old-school revival for several years now, the new Super Mario Bros. Series has often felt like a watered-down, more casual attempt to recapture the magic of the NES and SNES eras. Fortunately for us all, new Super Mario Bros. U does not adhere to that same pattern. Featuring a fantastic mix of retro concepts, new ideas, and an excellent difficulty level, Mario U is absolutely one of the gems of Wii U's launch. It's just a shame it doesn't push the system's visual or audio capabilities as well.
Oh yeah, Mario time!
And visuals are the one area where new Super Mario Bros. U lags. This isn't a bad-looking game by any means. The frame rate is crisp, the worlds around Mario and his enemies are generally good enough. The problem is that Mario U does just enough to reach an HD threshold, and then it stops. There's no mistaking this is a step up for the new Mario series, and it's a fair deal better looking than that last entry on Wii. But that's about it. For a system that's also capable of running the gorgeous Rayman Legends, seeing Mario not push our imaginations is a bit of a disappointment. It doesn't help that some levels, like a spectacular piece focusing on Van Gogh's Starry Night, are so stunning you start to wonder why that same creativity wasn't applied to the entire product. By the time Mario U really starts to do interesting things, it's over. The same more or less applies to the game's music. Old-school 2D Mario games practically defined the soundtracks of that era. The same can't be said for the new Mario series, which features the same numbing, generic, bubbly music across all its entries, this one included. As for the gamepad, we use unique touch-based controller. Generally, Mario U doesn't do too much with it. You can play entirely on the pad with your TV off, and there's some limited touch interaction, but don't expect too much. Yet disappointing visuals and audio are somewhat minor issues when compared to Mario U's fantastic gameplay, difficulty, and overall level design. Past new Mario games have felt a bit generic, and while they were reasonably good in their own right, they never felt like a true challenge. That changes here. By far and away, what more experienced gamers will want to remember is that Mario U features a challenge mode. Completely isolated from the well-designed story mode, this series of tasks places Mario in situations completely out of the ordinary. From dodging fireballs on a narrow platform to escorting an enemy to safety, this mode asks anything and everything of players, and even some of the easier concepts will truly test you. For many of us demanding 2D Mario games to require more skill, this is absolutely the answer. It's a clear sign that Nintendo is listening, and quite honestly, it's probably the best thing to come to Mario's world since 3D. Of course, the core single-player story mode is great in its own right. It's clear that Nintendo's modern designers grew up with Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World, as many of us did, because this game is practically a tribute to the NES and SNES eras. From bosses and enemies to levels, obstacles, and the use of a seamless overworld, Nintendo has found a way to bring a heavy dose of old-school ideas into its modern Mario experience. And the balance is absolutely perfect, never dipping too heavy into old ideas so that this game still feels fresh and exciting. For those of us who have been adventuring in the Mushroom Kingdom for decades, this experience is as much about seeing the clever twists on the formula as it is the crisp, near-perfect gameplay and level design. And for those just stepping into this wildly imaginative world, they'll understand what captured our childhoods all those years ago. If there's one note to make about gameplay, it's that 2D Mario games still aren't the best multiplayer experience. Playing with friends is still a bit of a chaotic mess, and it's not like adding a fifth player, armed with boost blocks through Wii U's gamepad, helps all that much. Families might get the most out of this functionality, but it's hard not to envision a lot of frustration coming regardless. New Super Mario Bros. U is the 2D platformer Nintendo fans have wanted for 20 years. Though it's not the creative landmark that titles like Super Mario Bros. 3 or Super Mario World were, and it certainly doesn't break boundaries or genres like Mario 64 or Super Mario Galaxy, this is absolutely an excellent adventure, and stands amongst the best in Wii U's launch lineup. It has a little something for everyone, without sacrificing anything, containing content for both casual players and veteran gamers. In other words, the new Super Mario Bros. Series finally achieved what it set out to do several years ago. For more on Wii U, keep it here at IGN.